What's up, everybody? I'm Mac from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is my first actual video review. I have been reviewing movies now for my website for over 4 years, and I wanted to expand onto YouTube, so this is my first video review. We'll be looking back at this historically at some point, and I'm sure everybody will be like, why did he review The Circle for his first movie? Why not wait a week for Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, because we're gonna need some practice, right? Alright, so my first review is of The Circle, and there's two things that you need to know about me. One, I am actually fairly good with actor names, so I will probably be referencing a lot of actors by their real names instead of their characters. And two is I am pretty R-rated in my day-to-day life. I'm not going to try to be too Joe Pesci in this review, but there's going to be some F-bombs. So, alright, so The Circle is the latest sort of social networky type inspired movie. It stars Emma Watson, Tom Hanks, John Boyega, Karen Gillan, Patton Oswalt, and Bill Paxton, actually, is in this. I didn't know he was in this, and it was really nice seeing Bill Paxton on screen. It was nice that he was given something to do, but it was still sort of a small role, so I don't know if this is like a big farewell, but it was just nice kind of seeing him on screen. The film centers around Watson's character, May, who works in a customer service call center, and she's tired of answering customer service phone calls and wants a change in her life. And she reaches out to her friend, played by Karen Gillan, who has a very bizarre accent in this film that keeps fading in and out, a little bit like Emma Watson's American accent in this film that fades in and out. She wants to get a job at The Circle, which is basically like a Facebook ripoff. It's a social network thing that is becoming a sort of an antitrust problem, like a big super conglomerate program. So Emma Watson gets an interview and she lands the job, and suddenly she is a customer service support person, but not over the phone, over chat. So she gets the dream job of a lifetime, and it's basically the same thing she was doing, just over chat instead of on the phone. So she's working for The Circle, and she's liking it. Everything's going well. The important thing to note is that she has parents, played by Glenn Headley and Bill Paxton. Her dad has MS, and the medical costs for that are a burden on the family. So that's sort of a driving force for why Emma Watson does a lot of the things she does in the film. She ends up getting more involved in The Circle. She's pushed to be more socially involved. There's a thing that The Circle does where they rank you based on your social involvement within the company, and when she starts, her ranking is like 10,900 something. It's like really low. And they're like, oh, you should share more. Oh, you went kayaking? Why didn't you take a picture of it? And so she starts sharing more and becoming more transparent. Transparency is a big thing about this movie, is that they're pushing for everything to be more transparent. And then just a lot of stuff happens, and honestly the movie doesn't make a lot of sense. I feel like there was a version of this script that was smarter at one point, and then somebody was like, oh, well, we don't want to be like The Social Network. We don't want to confuse people. We want to reach a mass audience. So let's dumb it down. Let's dumb it way down. One of the scenes that I had a problem with was a scene where Emma Watson's character goes kayaking, and it just seems like a really bad decision, like a series of bad decisions. She's already shown kayaking earlier in the film, and it's mentioned later on, so we think that she's at least somewhat of a pro kayaker. Like, she's good at it, and it leads to some trouble, and I didn't really buy the scene. The scene took me out of the movie because it didn't feel like something that somebody who's as smart as Emma Watson would have actually done. So that didn't work for me. A lot about this movie didn't work for me. Eric Coltrane's character, I don't think he's that good of an actor, and his dialogue felt very moody and very the CW for me. He's always like, ugh, you just don't understand. You've changed. The circle's changed you. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I don't really care for his character, and they didn't really do anything with it. He's only in like 3 scenes of the movie, and he's like this like quasi sort of boyfriend, but Emma Watson's not really into him, but maybe she kind of is. But because of this like massive ambiguity regarding his character, it makes it really hard to care about him. Ambiguity plus disturbing lack of screen time make it really hard for me to connect with your character. Same goes for John Boyega, who's only in like 3 scenes in this film. But every time we see him, his character is always talked to like he's been around this whole time, and he really hasn't. He really hasn't contributed anything to the plot or the story. And like, again, there's a lot of dumb writing with John Boyega's character. The first time he and Emma Watson meet, they don't exchange names, and then it comes up later because it's like this huge twist what his name is, and it's just like, oh shit, that's your name? And he's like, yeah, I thought you knew. And she's like, no, we didn't talk about names the first time, and it just seemed like rude to ask afterwards. And it's like, so you were just gonna go like your whole life until somebody else said this dude's name? Like, you were just gonna keep talking to him and never know what his name was? Seems kind of like a weird choice for a social media enterprise. I would think somebody would have figured out his name by now. So that was kind of dumb. The other thing I didn't like, and this is kind of spoilery, but there's something you need to understand about The Circle. The Circle is not a smart movie. You may think it is from watching the previews, but it's really not. Like, everything about The Circle, if you watch movies, there's nothing except for the kayak scene that you won't see coming. There's nothing really, like, everything feels like a natural progression of the story. There's no twist here. There's no big reveal at the end where you're like, oh my God, wow, I didn't see that coming. No, none of that happens. None of that happens. This is a really dumb movie. So, yeah, because, you know, I guess this film was written by, like, just some people who just really hate corporations or social media or Facebook or something. We're basically suggested that Tom Hanks and Patton Oswalt's characters who run the circle are villains, but we're never really given a direct reason why they're villains. Like, they have some pretty crazy ideas about privacy, and how we don't need it, but other than that, there's no like corruption or evil deeds or sexual harassment, or there's nothing really. They just sort of have some really bold ideas, and in many regards, Tom Hanks' character especially is slightly more developed than Patton Oswalt's. He actually comes across as kind of a good guy with good intentions. You know, where that old saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. This is Tom Hanks. This is his character in the movie. He's never painted ever as like an outright villain. Like, he knows what he's doing is bad, and he's purposely trying to screw people over. He's painted as a guy who thinks he's doing what is right and unintentionally screwing people over. So the film never really establishes them as a villain, which I think is interesting, because if you're going to choose 2 of the most likable actors in Hollywood with Hanks and Oswalt, you've really got to do something. Like, you got to throw us the curveball, and the film never throws you the curveball, which makes Emma Watson look like a total bitch in the end. Like, what she does out of nowhere without really knowing anything. The audience doesn't know anything. Like, it just was, I was like, what just happened? I don't understand. I don't understand why that happened, or what the purpose of it was. I was really disappointed. I was hugely disappointed in the end of the film. I was disappointed throughout the film. I thought the film itself just could have been so much better, just so much smarter. But it just fell flat for me. So that's that. If you want to go see The Circle this weekend, I wouldn't recommend it. I definitely say wait for video. I'm going to give this film a C. Alright, so that's my review of The Circle. And so why don't you tell me what you think? If you've seen it, comment below. Let me know if you think I'm wrong or if I'm right. What other social media driven films you like. Don't forget, oh my god, don't forget to click and subscribe for more videos. I've got Slight coming up, so I'm going to be reviewing Slight also in just a little bit. That's it. Catch y'all later.